Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Ackerson. I am the founder and CEO of AutoGrow.co. As you may hopefully, maybe you do, maybe you don't, maybe you already know. And today I'm going to teach you 7 steps to create and launch your first info product. So this video goes with a complete guide that my team and I put together. And the full video description, the full article rather, is in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube, and also just scroll down if you're watching this on AutoGrow for that. I think it was in 2014 when I sold my first info product for $19. And I remember I sent the email to our email list. Our email list was like 900 contacts at the time, which I thought was awesome. We were getting just like 1 or 2 new subscribers per day. We get like 40 to 50 new subscribers per day right now. And we were just growing organically. And I remember I hit send on the email, and the landing page was just like the ugliest thing you could have ever seen. There was like, I created like an icon. It was like one of those like product boxes that everyone, let's face it, everyone uses for, to promote their lead magnet, their ebook, or to present their info product, in this case, as sort of like an actual physical product that you can touch, that you can feel. And so I put together this landing page. I was like, and it was a pre-sale. The thing didn't even exist. I was like, all right, here's what I think is valuable that I can teach. And $19, and it's special price. Hit send, went to the gym, was running on the treadmill when I got a text message, and I was like, we just made $19, and that's really, really cool. And the product didn't even exist also. So that was kind of the icing on the cake there. Now fast forward to 2018, and I actually put selling all of our company's services on hold, just so that we could spend the entire next year and a half just kind of building out our line of info products and online trainings. I don't like to say info products too much. Maybe you kind of get what I mean, because info products these days, people think, oh, it's something cheap, it's not so valuable. But trainings, that's something more premium, and so it's higher value, which I believe our products are. So anyway, focus on that for an entire year and a half. Learned a ton, learned an absolute ton. Didn't get rich from actually doing that. Made some really good money. Paid the bills, paid rent, bought groceries, went out to dinner with my fiance and then wife, and it was working. But I got to a point where it was just kind of stressful. And this is something that I think that you should be aware of going into, if you're looking to start your own info product business. You think, it's like super profitable because, you create the book, and then you can sell 1 million copies of it. And because it's digital, you never again have to ever in your life, you can just retire. Okay. Because you can print like 1 million copies and you sell 1 million for $9 each. Oh man, $9 each. That's millions of dollars. That's millions of dollars. Wow. Look at you. But it's really not like that. It's really not that easy at all, because as everyone who's experienced with entrepreneurship, startups, building a company knows, you got to be great at marketing. You have to have a great product as well. And with info products too, especially today, maybe back in the early 2000s, maybe early 2010s, you could just put up a generic product that I will teach you how to dominate on social media. And this is the ultimate training guide ever. And, and throw up a sales page and you would convert cold traffic. Today, the barriers to entry to doing well are a lot higher, because a lot of people don't have great products that they're selling out there. The market's just kind of flooded with them, unfortunately. And so that's thing number one. Thing number two is if you just go very broad, as we'll talk more about in a second. I'm going to go through the 7 steps coming up in just a second. But if you target very broadly, if you don't pick a specific niche, people really want a specific solution to their business that's tailored to them. Because buyers, students, customers, they're more sophisticated today than they were before. So, but I'll talk more about that coming up as well. And in general, the other key ingredient is just the relationship with your audience. The relationship with your audience, because if you're just running, if no one knows you, and you have and you're just running traffic to a page, depending on the market, yeah, like maybe you could, especially if it's a less mature, less info product saturated type market, yeah, you could still make sales. But in most cases, it really comes down to having an audience that you have a relationship with, who know you. And that's the other thing that a lot of people would underestimate with this type of a business model. If you were going to make this part like a new revenue stream for your business, or you're looking to expand your existing revenue stream, the thing you need to know is you're selling your personal brand in large part. I mean, there are companies that are just putting out info products that don't involve a personal brand, but those are really few and far between. Because just like picking a specific niche, a personal brand, a face to the product that people can connect with, that they can build a relationship with, that they can trust, and not some anonymous brand that they haven't yet heard of, even if it's been around for years, it's just a growth multiplier by an order of magnitude. So with that being said, let's get into the 7 steps as part of this beginner guide to help you actually create your first info product. So step number 1 is, and these may seem obvious, because step number 1 is you got to brainstorm, what idea you actually want to turn into an info product. Maybe you have an idea, maybe you don't, but how do you know if your idea is good? All right, so let's kind of get into the nitty-gritty here a little bit. So you could pick some obscure market, but keeping in mind that part of the success of this involves like you actually managing your own energy, because that's what annoyed me for the 1.5 years that I did it and did only the info products type business model, was that I felt like I wasn't building a company. I felt like I was just building sort of a job for myself, and I probably could have optimized around that better over time. But ultimately, it was kind of exhausting, because I felt more of an obligation to just sell like every single day, and there wasn't enough like building involved, and building again of a brand, of a business. Is really just, okay, Matt, get on camera, sell, and that's so you want to, a big part of it is managing your energy and your expectations for that. So this quote from Steve Jobs is very relevant. He said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do. The only way to do great work is to love what you do." Simple, but great advice. Because if you love the topic that you picked, if you love the market that you're going after, if you love the fact that you're solving your own problem that you used to have, well, should be that you used to have, because people want to learn from people who have authority, who have been through the thing that they are looking to solve now. All right. So you need to pick a great idea that's sustainable, not just in terms of there being a market need, but sustainable for you in terms of your personal brand being continuously applied to build a relationship with people and to sell it. All right. So for instance, write down a list of ideas. You can creating an info product is going to take you time. And then you might consider coming up with a Venn diagram, right, that combines like 3 circles. And this is just a great, this is actually the same exercise that I used to start AutoGrow more than 10 years ago now. I remember late night, I was lying in bed, I was reading the book for the 2nd or 3rd time by Jim Collins, great by choice. And it was this chapter called the hedgehog concept. because, as he explained, the fox knows many things. In other words, a company that's trying to do a lot of things, but a hedgehog is only good at one thing: rolling up in a ball and being really spiky, right? And their argument in the book was that the hedgehog was more successful, or the hedgehog concept companies were more successful because they were good at just doing one thing really, really well and better than anyone else. So that being said, you want to draw three circles. You want one circle to ideas to go in there, should represent, just what are you naturally interested in. Other circles should be what's your skill set. Okay, what are you naturally good at, whether or not you're even interested in doing that. Okay, so for example, I'm actually really great with art and painting, but at least at this point in my life, I wasn't interested in pursuing it. I wanted to build a business first, and that would actually be, my art. So I really want to master that, and I am on the path to do that. So I'm really, really happy about that, and I hope you are too. And third, the third circle would be what would the market, just whether you're interested in it, whether you have a skill for it or not, what would people actually realistically pay you to do? And where the three circles overlap, that is the info product idea that you should create. Or in this case, for me, I use it again for the business. That was the business model that we did end up going after. So for example, it was web design for me. So we started out as a web design company because, I naturally had a good eye for just artistic and, placement of things and alignment of things on the page and spacing and this sort of thing. I knew that I was serving a market need because in college I had several small businesses pay me just to create their website and design their website and write the copy for it. And it was something that I was interested in. I really love visual things. I'm a very visual person. And I love the artistic, end result, that you have something that's going to stand on its own when you're done with it. All right, moving on to step number 2 is dig deeper into who your target audience actually is. Okay, so you want to do research. You want to do research on this because, if it's just web design, if you're just going to create an info product in this example, let's say it's, web design, you need to go deeper than that. Web design is not a niche. It's a topic, but who are you going to do that for? Web design for maybe designers. Web design for engineers. That would be interesting, right? Because engineers, and maybe what type of design? Maybe it's user interface design, right? Because, for example, we have an engineer, a web developer on our team who I know would benefit from an info product from a book that teaches that, because he's really good at writing code, but he needs to develop his skill set and his mindset for just really empathizing at a deeper and deeper level with the user, to get bugs out and to just anticipate needs, this sort of thing, when we're developing new features, for example, for the AutoGrow app. So do your research, and you want to settle on something specific again, like web developers, and make it more specific too, not just topical. Okay, like go even subtopic, like user experience design, right? Step number 3 is to create your info product and determine an appropriate price point. So this is where you've gotten through the easy steps. The easy steps. You should actually spend many hours, I would say, just being like a sponge in step number 2, just absorbing, reading reviews on Amazon of other existing info products, like books, for instance. And that will help you to really understand the market and who is in the market and who's buying, why they're buying, and what sort of price point they would buy if you created something you know, like the ultimate, most premium thing, would they be able to ever afford that? Because maybe you're just starting again with this one info product, but maybe you want to build a big business off of it eventually. And maybe that includes high ticket coaching, for instance, or some other SaaS product, for instance. So step 3 is to determine an appropriate price point. And that is largely informed by the research that you did in step number 2. In terms of the vehicle, though, for how you're going to kind of package this first info product, the easiest thing is really going to be some sort of an ebook, okay? Like, for example, AutoGrow's Productize and Relax ebook and audiobook. If you are, if you're selling services today and you actually need to free up your time to be able to pursue creating info products, I highly recommend that you check out the audiobook and audiobook/ebook. Comes with some really interesting interviews that I've been doing with different entrepreneurs too, who have built successful productized service businesses. And I've done the same thing for AutoGrow. It's going to free up your time so you can, you know, maybe invest it in creating an info product. So check it out. It's autogrow.co/marketplace if you want to read more about the Productize and Relax ebook and audiobook that I have written and packaged with some other resources there too. So you can package it as an ebook. All right. This is usually the easiest way because, you know, you can write something, you know, and I mean, don't get too obsessed with the length. The main thing is that it's domain knowledge. It's delivering on the promise that you're going to make on your sales page. All right. And you may even want to sketch out what your sales page is going to say, especially the unique selling proposition. Like what problem are you going to solve specifically, right? So as long as it's delivering on that, and, you know, you charge $9 for it, you know, 30, 40, 50 pages is more than fine. So don't obsess too much about, you know, details like, oh, well, I don't know how long they should be, Matt. Just decide and give it a try. All right. Webinars are other examples of how you could package it, or like some sort of multi-video course, online courses. You could even do it as some sort of a private community or group, and obviously workbooks, templates, or some combination of all those included. For instance, AutoGrow's info product or online training, as I prefer to call it, the 6-figure sales funnel online training from AutoGrow, it's a combination of all those things. It's workbooks. You know, we give homework to the students for each lesson module, videos, ebook, private group, all that good stuff. So let's move on to step number 4 now. And by the way, I'm just like looking at some of my notes here because I want to wrap up this video in a reasonable amount of time. So again, like there's a lot that I'm just not able to cover because I want to keep this video at a decent length, but not too long. So I really encourage you, if you're getting value from this video, first off, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Just tap it. Don't hit it. Don't smash it. Just tap it. Much appreciated. Hit subscribe so you get all of the future videos as well, like this on other similar topics about digital marketing and other really interesting topics about, you know, running an online business, productized services, all that good stuff. And leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. So leave a comment whether you're watching this on our blog or on the YouTube, on our YouTube channel. On the YouTube. I need to get more sleep. Step number 4, determine your distribution strategy. Cough, email list, cough. Just reading my notes. Yeah, so distribution, you really just want to, the tried and true approach is build an audience and then sell them your info product. That's really the best way to validate the market. You can do all sorts of fancy things, but you can do, I don't know, text messages and ads and cold traffic and Facebook traffic and all this stuff. But ultimately, it just comes down to someone is, you give someone something of value, lead magnet, such as a template or a checklist. You can even break off, splinter off a piece of your info products and give people kind of like a free sample of it. And that could be even your lead magnet. But in either case, email, it's still, for us, our biggest source of leads, of revenue, because if someone is opting into your email list, they're open to hearing from you. Okay, they're saying, yes, send me something. And you can, it's just an easy way to reach people. I mean, text messages have a higher open rate and engagement rate, yeah, but people don't like to be sold through text messages so much. Like, yeah, maybe a reminder for a webinar here and there. Me personally, like, I'll maybe do that once in a while if I really trust the person with, to not spam me or anything like this. But email has gone down in terms of effectiveness a bit, but I think it might be plateauing at this point. I don't think it's going to become necessarily less useful. You can experiment with other distribution channels like, Facebook chat too, for instance. Step number 5 is, okay, you've got a captive audience. Now you want to build trust with that audience. And here are 7 quick tips to do that. Number 1, understand them. And this comes from the research that you did and from looking at who they are. And from also, asking them the questions. You can survey them. Number 2, be active in general online, because that can strike up conversations and that gives you a better sense of, and more just kind of qualitative data for who they are. In order to help that to happen too, you have to, number 3, be available, be consistent in your messaging, post testimonials and reviews, share case studies, and just in general, just do what you're saying going to do, deliver on your promises. So if you say, oh, we're going to launch this new thing tomorrow at this time, do it. We're going to start a webinar on this day, and then you do it. Those things help to build trust, even if it's something fully automated. Step number 6 is automate your marketing to generate sales while you sleep. Okay, so at this point, you actually might want to push this step off a bit. You want to do a launch first. You want to get the first sale actually before this. So I want to amend this to say that to you. You want to really validate the market first. You want to do some sort of a launch. And then, and that whole sequence, that whole launch sequence that you put together, I mean, and it doesn't have to be, I was talking with another very successful marketer and entrepreneur actually years ago. And, him and I had the same philosophy on info products. It's like, and just products in general, just get it out there. Just get it out there. You don't have, because otherwise you could be stressing and like just second guessing yourself. And that's the biggest thing that holds people back, is like, they just don't do it. And so just if that's not you, for some people, hey, they want to make it a big event. They want to do a big buildup, but you're risking a lot. You could be risking your health. Better to just start small, validate. Okay, sales coming in. Okay, how do we turn this ebook into, a multi-module course, and then turn that multi-module course into maybe a full-blown software product, with more bells and whistles. So you start small and build on what works. Right? Keep it simple. And then, but as you are creating, emails to promote something, think about, hey, like, could I reuse this? Could I repurpose this into an automation that will actually sell for me when I sleep? Some very simple tactics to help you actually do that is you need to create those decision points. And really the easiest way to do that is to give people a reason to decide within a certain period of time. That could be some sort of discount. It could be some sort of availability, okay, it's only available for this amount of time. And all of that works. That all works because, and that's really the biggest thing for why many people don't make sales, is because they're not giving their audience a reason to decide now. Finally, step number 7 is keep your info product working for you and just build on its success, as I alluded to a moment ago. You can go from ebook to multi-module course to, you know, ultimate grandpapa, whatever, you know, ultimate thing, even a full-blown SaaS info product perhaps. So start small, build it up, go niche, all right? Sell personally, and know your audience. Give them lots of value, give them lots of love, and really just tailor it to them and their specific problem and that specific niche, and you're going to be very, very successful. So as I said before, don't rely on just everything in this video. There's a lot more information that I wasn't able to include. So check out the full article by going to the link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, or just scroll down on the page and you can get a clear idea on some of the nuances of these different steps. All right. So, and speaking of that, if you already have info products, or if you need help and you're ready to invest to create an info product sales funnel, landing pages, maybe this is something that you're doing on the side. Side hustle is the popular phrase these days, and you just want help doing it, but you need someone and a team of people, frankly, that have experience doing this, are professional, are reliable, and you just want to skip that whole hiring, that huge set of steps for hiring and vetting people, then check us out by going to autogrow.co, because with Autogrow, we let you delegate your digital marketing tasks without the headaches. There's a lot of headaches involved in hiring, all right? And it's basically like project management software, but it lets you, it's like project management software, but with proven professionals already inside, just ready and waiting to get the work done for you, quite frankly. And the way that works is you sign up. There's no monthly contracts. It's super affordable. We even have a $7 for 7-day trial going on right now. So that makes it just a no-brainer to try us out if you have a need and if you feel like you're ready. Because you basically get like a full team on demand. And so you sign up, 2 clicks, select your package, and then click on the checkout page to check out. And then you input your idea. Okay, I want to I want to have a strategy consultation. It might be one idea to, brainstorm my info product funnel, and input another idea, because our interface for the app is ideas made real. So another idea you might input would be, okay, then I want to create a landing page for a lead magnet for the beginning step of creating my funnel, right? So you input that, and you click on Make It Real for each of them. And you sit back, relax, and watch as the progress bar for each of those would go from 0 to 100%. Obviously, with the first one for booking a call with a strategist, which is also just an amazing part of our service. So you get copywriting, design, development, strategy, all included, and more. Quality assurance, project management, and we're adding new skills and new talent to the skill stack that you get every single month. We're looking to add more, and supporting more and more tools too, if you have existing tools and tech that you want us to integrate with. So it's just an amazing value. We can help you to execute, and you can have the ideas, and we'll just help you make your ideas real by delegating, again, without the high cost of hiring. So check it out at autogrow.co. All right, so until next time, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a lot of value from this video, and I will see you next time. But until then, keep converting and stay focused.